Hey guys, how are you doing today? So in yesterday's video, I covered the Vanity Fair article, The Rebellion Will Be Televised, and we also spoke a little bit about the photoshoot video that accompanied it. We spoke about the Ahsoka series and Andor, but I added the caveat in that video that I would be covering more of the article in separate videos. Well, here we are, my dear friends. But stick around to the end of the video because Deborah Chow has just revealed the types of cameos that we're going to see in the Kenobi series. You're not going to want to miss it, guys. But without any more jibber jabber, let's get into this article first. We start with a project we've known about for a long time, codenamed Grammar Rodeo. We've now got some information for when the show is set. So contrary to many theories and speculation that it was going to be High Republic, this show is not. While we still don't have an official title for the show, we just know the codename Grammar Rodeo. It's now been revealed the series is Mando-verse era, and this is what Vanity Fair wrote as the official description. Another new series on the horizon doesn't even have a title, just a codename Grammar Rodeo. A reference to an episode of The Simpsons in which Bart and his schoolmates steal a car and run away for a week, using a phony educational event as an alibi. The show takes place during the post-Return of the Jedi reconstruction that follows the fall of the Empire, so the same as The Mandalorian, but its plot remains a secret. It's created and executive produced by director Jon Watts and writer Chris Ford, who made Spider-Man Homecoming for Marvel. And just to interrupt here, my dear friends, for just a second, it is also rumoured that Jon Favreau is involved, which makes a lot of sense if it is going to be related to The Mandalorian. So they then say a casting notice has called for 4 children around 11 to 12 years old. Inside Lucasfilm, the show is being described as a galactic version of the classic Amblin coming-of-age adventure films of the 1980s. Now, given the kids that are being cast and the time period that we know about, this series could very well be Luke Skywalker Academy, and I think this show is going to be centered around Luke's adventures post-Episode 6. I think there's more than a likely chance that it's going to cross over with The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and it will take us to the creation of Luke's Academy, where I think we might even see a young Ben Solo being trained. And that obviously opens the door for the possibilities of Leia, Han Solo, and Chewie as well. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm so relieved it's not going to be High Republic. I love the Mando-verse so much, and I want to see it expand beyond The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka. For me, the best part is that it leaves room to expand the stories of these characters and give a wider view of the narrative landscape of this time period, early Imperial remnants, Luke's adventures, and so on and so forth. Now, I should say the Luke stuff is just speculation, but given it's a Jon Watts project, the show is in great hands, and with Favreau rumoured to be involved, it gives me great hope. So let me know your thoughts of this down below. So next up, my dear friends, I want to highlight some Kathleen Kennedy comments on Solo, A Star Wars Story, and I will say, it's pretty bad news for those fans who are looking forward to a possible sequel. That's right, guys, in this interview, Kennedy kind of admits the spin-off film failed and confirmed that Lucasfilm will no longer be recasting legacy Star Wars characters. Of course, Luke and Leia don't apply in the Kenobi series because they're going to be played by 10-year-olds, so it's a different story. But I must say, she kind of threw Alden Ehrenreich under the bus. Her comments pretty much also closed the door for the likes of Alden to return to the franchise, and the angle that Kathy is taking with this kind of implies we're not going to get a Solo 2. But this begs the question, what about the Lando series? What's that going to be about? Donald Glover admitted he is part of the show, so it's not going to be Billy D. Williams, so it seems like he might be an exception when it comes to this recasting thing. And if he is going to be involved and the Lando series is going ahead, then what's the story going to be about? Are they going to bring Alden back? Or if Han is part of the show, they could de-age Harrison Ford. So many questions, so little answers. But in her own words, she said, quote, "There should be moments along the way when you learn things. Now it does seem so abundantly clear that we can't do that." Kathy was also asked about Star Wars trilogies and the future of them, to which she also shut down as something that's not in the cards for the near future. So instead, all of the hope for Lucasfilm is in standalone movies, at least when it comes to the cinema. And speaking of the upcoming cinematic releases, Patty Jenkins' movie seems like it's a long way off. Kathy basically confirmed that Taika Waititi's 2025 movie is going to be the next cinematic release before Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, and she was pretty silent about Kevin Feige's movie. She said that she's excited for what he's going to come up with, but as of now, there is no story. Now, given Michael Waldron's recent comments that he is working on it, this interview could have been before, but that movie is set for 2027. And also in this interview, speaking of the movie side of Star Wars, the infamous question of Rian Johnson's trilogy came came up. Ah yes, the mystical trilogy that was announced 6 years ago that many fans believe is never gonna happen. And of course there are many Star Wars fans who don't want Rian Johnson anywhere near Star Wars ever again. Well, on that issue, Kathleen Kennedy's words speak volumes. She basically said he's too busy with Knives Out, which is code for it's never gonna happen. But I think Rian himself still believes it's in the cards, and if it is going to happen, it's going to be far, far into the future. Let's wait and see, but I'm telling you now, don't hold your breath. I can see a situation, if he has time, where Dave Filoni allows him to direct an episode of The Mandalorian, which he's expressed interest in before, but as for a trilogy, I just don't see it happening, guys, especially given that literally a sentence before, Kathy shut down the possibility of future trilogies. But what do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments down below. And so next up, my dear friends, we have some release dates. I spoke about them very briefly in yesterday's video, but let's go over them one by one. So the Andor series is coming in the summer of 2022, so that's going to be the next show after Kenobi. And if you're curious about the plot, the season 1 outline is detailed by Tony Gilroy in this article, and again, I did cover it in yesterday's video. As for The Mandalorian season 3, they're still hoping it's going to be a winter release of this year, but it could slip into early 2023. The Ahsoka series is also confirmed to be 2023, and just bear in mind, we should get some more details at Star Wars Celebration, especially for the animated stuff, The Bad Batch Season 2, Visions 2, and Star Wars A Droid Story. Now, another element of this article which got fans talking was the absence of Boba Fett, and that is really surprising because this was supposed to be a showcase for the future of live-action Star Wars. I know we just had season 1 of the Book of Boba Fett, but it is quite curious he wasn't included in this photo shoot, and I've kind of gathered some things from what Kathleen Kennedy was saying in this article, her changed attitude towards Star Wars, her more blunt decision-making and emphasis on a plan, and by the sounds of things, it's not looking like we're getting a Book of Boba Fett season 2. I could be completely wrong, but for now, I think they're going to continue Boba and Fennec's story in The Mandalorian Season 3. Just like they did a crossover with Mando and Boba in chapters 5 and 6, Boba's story is probably going to continue in Season 3, and we know that Tamora Morrison has been filming for it. I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Book of Boba Fett deserves a season 2, but it was really nice to see them showcasing some of the creatives, especially the work of Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Deborah Chow. This Vanity Fair article, the video, the photo shoot, everything has really brightened my week. The future of Star Wars looks to be very bright, and next week, my dear friends, in a week and 2 days to be more specific, we're getting the Kenobi premiere episodes 1 and 2. Not to mention the start of Star Wars Celebration, where we're going to be getting tons more Star Wars news. And so now guys, a massive piece by Entertainment Weekly, where Deborah Chow has revealed we're going to get a lot of really exciting cameos in this show, but she did say it's not going to be Ahsoka, nor is it going to be Boba Fett, but rather no characters from the series. Instead, all of the cameos in the Kenobi show are, quote, derived from the movies, specifically the prequels. So while the interviewer and many Star Wars fans have been wondering if we're going to get a cameo from Ahsoka or other characters from the other Disney Plus series, Deborah Chow shut it down, and instead she says, quote, given the nature of our characters, the strongest connective tissue is to the prequels for us, because in large part, that's where our characters are coming from, and that's where their story started. Now, the leaks for the show state we will see Qui-Gon Jinn, but we've also seen a lot of fan speculation and hope that we are going to see some Tamora Morrison, specifically in the role of Commander Cody. I don't know if that's going to happen, making Star Wars say no, but my fingers are crossed. Not only for him, but one specific character I would love to see considering we're back on Tatooine is Watto. I know in this series we're not spending too much time on the desert world, but you never know. If, as Deborah Chow says, they're going to do prequels fan service, then I can't see why they shouldn't include him. Deborah Chow also teases that some themes in terms of style and tone from The Mandalorian are going to cross over in Kenobi, but she does warn that does not apply to the characters. I think she just means in terms of directing style and some of those elements that she worked on in season 1. But again, she reiterates the prequels are the biggest connective tissue of this show. And as I say, the leak stated that we're going to see Bail Organa, his wife Breya, and Qui-Gon Jinn at the end. But who knows, there could be room for another surprise or two. Let's wait and see. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and a massive welcome if you are. But I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.